Commission. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you very much. Good evening, everybody. Happy to be here. Invocation and prayer will be delivered tonight by District 6.
You guys and ladies would please bow with me. Heavenly Father, as we humbly come to you tonight, thanking you, Heavenly Father, for all the blessings that you've given us. And Heavenly Father, we just ask that you bless us tonight as we deliberate the business of the county. Heavenly Father, we pray that we'll make decisions that are best for the citizens in Putnam County. Heavenly Father, we thank you that you allow us to live in the greatest county in the world and in the state. Heavenly Father, and we know that all the blessings that we have and all the things that you've given us come through your Son, Jesus, and it's in his holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, everyone. We're going to go to the roll call. Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, take your handsets and press yes for me, please, and stop right there. Everybody press yes and just stop right there. Sam, believe us?
He was here. Did I miss the rapture?
God,
I hope not.
I hope not.
Yes, you probably will.
He was here.
He was here.
He must
Is
have had a
All right.
phone call or something.
I need his handset.
You have his handset, please? I'm sorry.
Somebody press it.
No.
I'd rather you not press it. I'd rather you let. Oh, Lord, pray for us. Hand me that if you don't care, and we'll let the clerk press it.
He goes to jail instead of him.
Oh, mercy. All right, everybody press confirm now for me, please. Everybody press confirm.
There he is.
Is he here? Oh, he's back. He's back.
All right, let's press, where's he at? All right, let's press yes, and then I'm going to confirm him. All right, so hand it back to him. All right. Sam, you worried us. We thought, AJ thought the rapture happened. He got left behind, brother.
Hey, we all did.
What do you want? If you already done that. Sorry, I thought it started.
All right, Mr. Chairman, you have all 24 present. I declare a quorum, sir.
Thank you, sir. Item number 5, approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Any adjustments to the agenda? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have an approved agenda. Item 6, approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any discussion or amendments to the minutes of the previous meeting? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have approved minutes. Item number 7, unfinished business and action thereon by the board. Report of standing committees. Planning committee.
No unfinished business.
Thank you, sir. Fiscal review committee.
No unfinished business.
Thank you, ma'am. Nominating committee.
No unfinished business.
Thank you, sir. Report of special committees, except report from the audit committee. You going to present, Randy, since Mr. Duncan's?
Yeah, Chairman Duncan asked that it be presented to you in written form. You have the audit report in your packet. County audit requires the audit committee meets and reviews the audit, and they turn it in to you for it going to minutes of the county commission, so you have it in your packet.
Any questions? Well, I need a motion before we can start.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, any discussion on the audit? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Other unfinished business. Okay, item number 8, quarterly reports and action thereon by the board. Road Fund, Randy Jones, Road Supervisor. School Funds, Corby King, Director of Schools. County General, Debt Service, Solid Waste, Parks and Rec, Self-Insurance. Randy Porter, County Mayor. I need a motion, please.
Motion.
Motion is second on the court reports. Any discussion?
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Mr. Johnson.
Adam, thank you.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Number 9, new business and action thereon by the board. Report of standing committees. Planning Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Planning Committee recommends approval of the following equipment to be transferred from the Highway Department to Putnam County Maintenance as follows: 1988 Mack dump truck, and I so move.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes.
Item B, Planning Committee recommends approval of the following equipment to be transferred from the Sheriff's Office to Putnam County Maintenance as follows: the 2018 7-ton trailer, and I so move.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes.
That concludes planning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fiscal Review Committee.
Consider approval of the bonus policy for the county clerk's office and budget amendment as submitted by County Clerk Wayne Neighbors.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Now open the floor for discussion.
Thank you. That's okay. Thank you. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Sandlin.
Okay, I really don't know how to approach this, but, and excuse me for a while ago, I've got some dynamics going on in my family that I had to deal with. But I really don't know how to discuss it, but just tell the truth. I don't see how we can do a bonus policy for one elected official. I don't, if you were on the budget committee, if you've ever been on the budget committee and served and you go through, we've got pages and pages and pages of what people do and how it's ranked and where it is and and when we give raises, we do all of that and we do it for the county-wide. And I can't imagine, and no offense to Mr. Neighbors, but I can't imagine that we would do something for a separate company, separate elected official that we wouldn't do for everybody. And I would say we should vote this down and go on. It ought to come back as county-wide or not come. That's just my thoughts.
Thank you, Mr. Sandlin. Any more discussion? Commissioner Cassidy.
To kind of follow up on that a little, and it's been a few months since we passed the budget, so my memory could be fuzzy, but we approved a county-wide salary study this past year. That was a huge increase for a lot of employees, a big change in how we compensate employees overall. And as part of that approval, there were several elected officials, several department heads that had asked for specific raises for specific employees. And we took all those out of the budget as part of approving the salary study. And at the end of the day, I just agree with Sam that if these people deserve bonuses, it needs to be in the budget. And we had that opportunity this past year, and we voted the way we voted. We approved the salary study, and if we've got people that need bonuses, put it in the budget next year.
Thank you, Commissioner Cassidy. Commissioner Andrews.
Is there any new money involved in this, or is it all?
No, none whatsoever. All the money for this is in restricted funds. Mr. Chairman, do I need to explain about that, or you want to explain about that since you're my CTAS rep?
There's a TCA that was passed 2 years ago in session that allows county clerks across the state to collect a fee for $3 for all title and registration transactions. The TCA talks about that can be spent for whatever uses concerning title and registration.
Correct.
I think all of his employees work in title and registration, so he's covered that part of it. He called me as his CTAS consultant and said, what do I need to do? And I talked to Audit, the comptroller's office, And the comptroller's office said a policy has to be passed by the commission in order for the county to give bonuses. It did not used to be that way. That's something audit has requested last couple of years. Another one of my counties wanted to do that and had to have a policy approved. In their instance, audit told them it had to be part of the personnel policy. In this instance, with Mr. Jones, talking to the comptroller's office, they said it could be an individual office policy by Mr. Neighbors, and the county commission would have to approve it in order for him to give the bonuses. So that's how the inception of that started.
And Mr. Jones and I have had several discussions, and I've sent stuff to him. He spoke to Anita Scarlett, who is the Assistant Director of Audit. I spoke to Steve Reeder, who's the Director of Audit, and we followed their instructions. I followed Mr. Jones's instructions. Everything that you see in this packet, except the 7 pages that I put together that does tie everybody into title registration. In fact, I sent that to Mr. Jones. He approved it, and so we're wrapped tight. There's no problem with audit. Like Chairman said, I have 3 restricted funds, and out of that, 2 of those, we have the ability to do that, and TCA allows that. And other county clerk's offices have done it all across the state. But no, there is no tax money or anything that comes. This is strictly restricted funds.
Well, that answered my question, and I hesitate to say this, but I'm going to say it because I used to get beat up a lot up here. And it's my opinion, if the money is not new money, it is not our job to tell the elected officials how to run their office.
Thank you, sir.
And what to do. And if that is okay with the state, I'm okay with it.
Thank you, Commissioner Andrews.
Thank you, Commissioner Andrews. Commissioner Wilson.
Got 2 questions.
Sure.
This $3, how much money are we talking about, number one, over a course of a year? How much money are we talking about? $3 per title?
Yes.
How much are we talking about?
It brings in approximately, this last year, around $90,000.
How much?
Around $90,000.
$90,000. So if these bonuses were not given, would that $90,000 go to general fund?
Yeah, out of that money, currently, right now, and ever since that passed, I'm paying a whole employee's salary out of that. When I got my last employee, I've pledged to pay it out of that. Chelsea will tell you, and when we do GASB 34 amendments, we transferred that money this last year. So I'm paying a whole person's salary out of that money. That way, that's another budgeted item. So
the difference between that person's salary and the $90,000 is what?
$50,000.
Okay.
The answer to your question is no. That those are restricted funds that they are specifically earmarked for titling and registration. If they're not spent in titling and registration, they do not go back to the general fund.
So where would they be? Just stay in that
They'd
fund?
stay in that restricted
And it rolls
fund.
over every year?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
They can be used for anything in his office,
In title registration.
employee salaries, equipment, supplies related to title and registration.
Sure. Exactly.
Commissioner Nadio.
All right, so we've established that this is not new money.
So
It's not coming out of county general fund. You're using it right now to pay for an employee, so there's a surplus beyond that employee that you want to use to pay bonuses. Am I
Correct.
understanding this correctly?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's
Yeah.
the question.
And the bill was written that money doesn't revert back to county. So
And it doesn't revert back to the county general
It'll just
at
stay-
the end of the year.
It'll stay right there and still keep blessing my office. Yeah.
So not to get technical, GASB has restricted, unrestricted, assigned,
Sure.
non-spendable. This would stay in the restricted fund balance
Right.
for his office.
All right, one more question if I may.
Yes, sir.
Do the other offices, do the other elected officials have this kind of restricted money that they have access to, or is this something specific to his office because he collects tax for the county?
The only similar one that a couple other offices have, register deeds, clerks of court, have a data processing fee that can be used, but that's for equipment and software for that office. There's no other office that the TCA addresses with this particular kind of fee that can be used for services provided to the public. He's the only office that the General Assembly has passed that for.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Any more, yes, Commissioner Cassidy?
Wayne, one quick question. You
Yes,
used the
sir.
word bonus.
I'm sorry?
You used the word bonus.
Correct.
One time,
Uh-huh.
not recurring.
It's one time this year. There'll possibly be a bonus next year. We'll see.
And would you put that in the budget next year?
Yes, and that will be paid out of restricted funds. So again, it will not come out of fees, the 29,900.
I understand the
It'll strictly
restricted
come out of
funds.
restricted, right.
But I'm saying this is not changing somebody's salary permanently. It's
No.
a one-time.
No, but I am paying one person's
Yeah, I-
salary totally out of that, which alleviates me in that 29,900. Which also helped me, may I add, last year in turning over excess fees from my office, I turned over $175,000 in excess fees. So that went to county general. So I stand behind the fact that I have the busiest office in Putnam County. We do probably 150,000 transactions. We are crazy busy every day.
Mr. Jacinto?
I'd like to just quickly reiterate what Commissioner Andrews said. I think all of our elected officials are really, really good. We see that in the audits, and I think we need to give them as much latitude within the law to run their offices as they see fit, because that's what they were elected to do.
Thank you, Commissioner Jacinto.
Any more discussion? All right, we need a roll call. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Williams.
I would like to agree with both Commissioner Andrews and Commissioner Sandlin. Commissioner Andrews is 100% correct that these folks are elected and they should be able to run their offices as they see fit within the confines of the law. But there is a practical matter, and that is that if bonuses are given, even if they're legal, if they're given for one office, this body is going to receive a lot of blowback from other employees who did not get bonuses, who do not work for offices that are fee generating, and they're going to say we work just as hard as they do. I mean, I'm not going to say, the road department, they're out there in the heat and the snow and the cold and all the rest of that, and they work hard, and the EMS and the sheriff's office and everybody's going to say they work hard and they're deserving of the same money. And I won't be surprised if we don't have department heads and other elected officials ask for one-time money above and beyond whatever we're going to hopefully do in terms of cost of living. So I just want us to know that if this passes, which it might, I don't know, if this passes, expect a lot of discontent among our county employees because one office is getting a better deal because they're a fee office than everybody else.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Andrews?
I didn't say I agreed with it. I just said it's not our job to tell Wayne or Eddie or Randy or Freddie or anybody else how to run their job, how to run their office. The people elect them. And if it's within the law, let them do what they need to do, whether we like it or not. If it's in the law and it's legal, they're the ones elected to do that job.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Any more discussion? All right.
Mr. Carter? Seeing none, if you'll take your handsets, if you favor the motion, please vote yes. If you do not favor the motion, vote no. Everyone, please vote. Stop right there. All votes are in. Anyone, nope, wait a minute. No, Mr. Johnson. Thank you, sir. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere? Please press confirm, if you would, for me, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, please press confirm. Mr. Chairman, you have 19 voting yes, 5 voting no, 0 absent. I declare that motion to have passed. Thank you, Commissioners, for supporting my hardworking employees. Madam Chair.
All right, next up, recommend approval of budget amendments to the General Purpose School Fund, and I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, Mr. Clerk.
All right, if you take your hands, let you favor the motion, vote yes. If not favor the motion, vote no. Everyone, please vote. Stop right there. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere, please press confirm. If you would for me, please, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, you have 24 voting yes, 0 no, 0 absent. I declare that motion to have passed. Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you. Next up, recommends approval of budget amendments to the Road Department Fund, and I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, Mr. Clerk.
All right, if you take your handsets, favor the motion, vote yes. Do not favor the motion, vote no. Everyone, please vote. Stop right there for me, please. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere, please press confirm for me, if you would now, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Okay, there you go. Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, I have 24 voting yes, 0 no, 0 absent. Declare that motion to have passed. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Next up, recommend approval of a resolution to extend conditional option agreements for acreage at the existing fairgrounds.
Commissioners, Jeff and I was going to tag team this one since it's got some legal ramifications. So we did options to several developers for a small piece of the old fairgrounds property for the new VA clinic. Those expire coming up the first part of May. The VA's been working through, meeting with these developers. They have knocked some of them out. The list of ones that are still in, got a notification last Friday that the VA is planning on making the announcement in first quarter 2025, which we take that to be fiscal quarter 2025. Federal government operates on an October through September fiscal budget. If that's the case, they'd be notified in October, November, or December. But there's a part of either a regulation or a statute or something that the federal government is that on these VA clinics, the developer has to have the option agreement in place that gives them 90 days to close on the land after it's awarded. So if that happens, October, November, December, they got to have 90 days to do that, which would put it to the end of March. There is a question that hadn't been answered yet as to, one developer says it's fiscal year 2025, the other one says it's calendar year quarter 2025. So that could mean, instead of the end of March, of them notifying. So what we've done is we're asking you to extend those option agreements. You have a resolution in your packet that extends those option agreements from the May that's coming up, if the developers are still going to continue with it, to ask us for that we be allowed to extend that until next end of June 30th of 2025. I really don't like having the land tied up that long, but it's only that small piece that's out there on the corner of Walnut and Veterans. The rest of it is still in a regular option with the other developer out of Florida that continues to work on his master plan for the rest of that. My thing is, and the veterans have to come first. So we want this VA clinic to be here in Cookeville. If we don't pass this and the option runs out and these developers have to drop out, then there's a chance that there may not be another piece of land that the VA would choose. And if they do, then they'd have to start the process all over again, and we'd be 2 or 3 more years out. before anything happens on it. And with our veterans having to drive to Nashville, Murfreesboro to go to the clinics and having to wait for so long, to me, we have to put them first. And so I'm asking that you pass this to let us extend those options out, and hopefully the VA will make a decision quicker than that, and we'll know something, but that we put them first. And Jeff, did you want to add to that?
I'll try not to plow the same ground that Randy's speaking of, but Randy's right. We do need to try to support our veterans here. So the resolution that you've got in front of you, there are a few things to take note of. First of all, one of the things that we're requiring is the potential developer must have received some indication from the VA that they're in the running to get the project, okay? And we want some written evidence. In the original conditional option agreement, there was a provision that the streets be built to City of Cookeville standards and that they be dedicated to the city, so that they become city streets and the city will take care of them. We want to reiterate that in that agreement, and that's part of the resolution as well. They have to make a written request for an extension of the agreement, and also to submit some evidence to the county mayor's office that they're within the competitive range as being part of their proposal as being accepted by the Veterans Administration. We're also asking for $5,000. We asked for $2,500 to hold it for 6 months this last time. And just like Randy said, the reason that they have to have these conditional option agreements is they have to show, as part of their submittal, that they've got control over the land or the potential to control the land. So since we're extending it out to hedge our bets to June of 2025, which is twice as long as what the original agreement was, we just reasoned that $5,000 would be a good price. Okay? I'll be happy to answer any questions if you got them.
We're still talking about 7 acres, right?
7 to 10 acres.
7 to 10 in that corner?
Correct.
Commissioner Andrews?
I was just I'd like to be the one to make the motion. I'm a veteran. I use the VA. I know there's a lot of veterans up here. It would be extremely wonderful to have an expanded VA services here. And I'll make the motion that we do the conditional option.
Second.
Holly, second, yeah.
Okay, we have a motion second. Any discussion? Do we need a roll call on this?
We're not spending any money, are we?
Since we're dealing with money in the federal government.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
All right, Mr. Clerk, we're ready.
All right, take your handsets, ladies and gentlemen. If you favor the motion, vote yes. If you not favor the motion, vote no. Everyone, please vote. Stop right there for me, please. Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Ms. Tays, there you go. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere? Now, please press confirm for me, ladies and gentlemen.
Heavy thumb.
That's all right, brother. No problem. You did good. Mr. Chairman, all 24 vote yes, there's 0 absent. Declare that motion to have passed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next up is to hear from Tennessee Tech President Phil Oldham.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening. I want to start by thanking all of you. I want to thank you for what you do on a regular basis. I want to thank you for helping create a county that is the greatest place to live and work and learn and play. And I appreciate that. It makes us all better for it. So I'm here tonight to give you an update on a very important project of, I think, general community interest that's going on at Tennessee Tech, but has significant county interest in as well, and to ask for your support to help us make that a reality. So Tucker Stadium has served Tennessee Tech and this community, the greater Putnam County community, for nearly 60 years now. It's been the site of many great athletic events, graduations, and other public events that brings us all together as a community and helps us attract new visitors to Putnam County and improve the quality of life here for all of us. Well, Tucker Stadium has served us very well, but it is in need of replacement. And a new facility is needed to meet the needs of this next generation and provide future growth opportunities for everyone in Putnam County. So what is the project we're doing? And we've got some boards over here that kind of highlight some of this visually. We will be tearing down the west side of Tucker Stadium later this spring. And we will be building a new west side to Tucker Stadium beginning this fall. The project will take 18 to 20 months to complete and should be ready for the fall of 2026 football season. This will be a different looking west side Tucker Stadium. Have about 2,500 chairback seats on the lower level, about 600 club level seats, about 14 suites with a capacity of about 320 or so people, a new press box, game day locker room, and so forth. So a highly upgraded stadium facility to meet the expectations of fans of all types that want to come to athletic events and other events. So what's the benefit for everyone in Putnam County? Well, first of all, more athletic events, and events like the Blue Cross Bowl, for example, that we had here for 12 years. And one reason that we don't have the Blue Cross Bowl anymore is because our facilities weren't up to standards. We're convinced that we can get it back and have already been having some conversations around that topic with TSSAA. So we feel pretty good about that. But this is more than athletics. We have concerts and other kinds of public events that bring in enhanced tax revenue opportunities for the county, a lot of business development opportunities. So this is the type of facility that will allow businesses to entertain clients and employees and focus on business opportunities in an environment that they would be accustomed to. And even more fundamentally, it gives us an opportunity to recruit more students to Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech provides a significant economic impact to Putnam County already, somewhere in the vicinity of $600 million annually, according to our latest economic impact study. We know that for every additional 100 students, that's approximately $3 million more into the county. So it's a pretty substantial economic benefit. There's also community benefits in general. A better facility that can be shared with many of the county schools and other events. We do this routinely. We have reciprocity agreements with Putnam County schools, and so they're able to come and use the facilities as needed on occasions, and we're happy to do that. We would continue to do that. And then the club level and other parts of the stadium would be available for various community events that would be highly beneficial to everyone. So in order to make this work, we need partnerships, and we've got a lot of them already in place. Tennessee Tech obviously is investing heavily in this project. We also have a number of private donors that have stepped up to help support this. We have some corporate sponsors that are stepping up as well. The city of Cookeville has already made a commitment and looking to extend that even further. And so it seems appropriate that I would come and ask the county commission to entertain or consider support of this project as well. So the request that I have is really pretty simple, and I know that you have a lot to deal with. You have a lot of things that you have to consider. And so to give you as much flexibility as possible, what I'd be requesting your consideration for is a $2 million commitment spread over 10 years in whatever increments you deem fit to do that. So this is totally, it's about a $56 million project. So what I'm asking of the county is relatively nominal, but I think it's important to send a statement to everyone in the community, on campus, off campus, in the city, in other parts of the county, that we work together, that we come together to make good things happen and make the lives of everyone in Putnam County better. So I appreciate your consideration for this. I'd be glad to address any particular questions you might have regarding the stadium project. But this is a project that's going to benefit the county, and I have no doubt that you will see this money returned to you in many-fold through additional tax revenues in years to come. So I appreciate your consideration. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Commissioner Donadio?
Okay, so based on the economic impact, I'm going to estimate here, and I don't have the numbers to back this up, that Tennessee Tech is certainly one of the top employers in Putnam County. Mm-hmm. So from what I'm thinking about this is the impact as far as when we're going to be expanding, probably we're going to be looking at an impact directly with the construction, mm-hmm. bringing in jobs to the area during that process. And that alone along with the Blue Cross Bowl, is certainly going to come close to the economic impact of $200,000 a year.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. As you know, we have a lot of construction projects going on campus, and that employs a lot of people, brings a lot of those into Cookeville and into Putnam County, and they're spending their dollars here. So it has a significant impact, absolutely. The Blue Cross Bowl, we've studied that over the years. I think the last economic impact study we had on the Blue Cross Bowl was about $3 million for the weekend long activity that goes on with that. So, our ability to bring in more events like that make a big difference.
Good. Commissioner Cassidy? Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Bennett. Yep, Commissioner Bennett. Sorry.
The request is for 10 years. Can it be spread out over 15 or 20?
Sure, yeah, we can do that. Our plan would be to finance this through State School Bond Authority. So we just have to be able to show an income stream to support the debt service on that. So yeah, absolutely.
Commissioner Cassidy.
President Oldham, you said a minute ago that you have some reciprocity agreements with mm-hmm. the school system and the county in other ways. I believe all three high schools use Hooper Evelyn for graduation now. Is that right?
I believe that's right. I know they have in the past, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
I know Cookeville occasionally, or Baxter occasionally plays football games at Tucker Stadium. How much does Tech charge for that?
I'll look. I think maybe custodial services, just direct costs in terms of cleanup is all we charge.
So the county already gets a benefit from both Hooper Evelyn Center and
mm-hmm. Yes.
Tucker Stadium is
absolutely.
My
Commissioner Andrews.
I was just going to say that I think the economic benefit of this is beyond description, quite honestly, not only to our community, but to the program, the school. And I'm assuming there is a method in place for us to do this, Randy? Or a proposal, I should say?
If you want to do it, yeah, I mean, there's funds available. The one place that we have the extra funds right now is in economic development and tourism, where the hotel motel tax comes into. Anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 right now is free in that fund. It just goes back into the fund balance. So if you want to do it, I mean, there is a place for it to happen.
Well, I think we should do it if we have the mechanism to do it.
Commissioner Phipps.
I think it'd be beneficial to us in the long run. A lot of times you got to spend to get back. So it sounded like a real good deal to me. Like I said, Randy said we had the money to go toward that. So I'm along with David. Sounds good to me.
Commissioner Jacinto.
I think it's a unique opportunity. Short year and a few months on the commission, we get an awful lot of opportunities to make decisions about spending money, but this is the first time since I've been on the commission that we have a chance to make a real investment, and I think we would be very short-sighted to turn it down myself.
Commissioner Down.
I just wanted to speak in favor of it. The more sales tax revenue we can bring in, the better it is for all of our citizens of Putnam County.
Can I make a motion?
Yeah, yes.
I'd like
go
to
ahead.
make a motion that we authorize the $200,000 a year over the next 10 years.
I'll second.
Have a motion second for $200,000 payment every year for the next 10 years. Mayor?
Let's say what we're going to take it from, so if you want to do the.
From the hotel motel tax?
Out of the Economic Development Tourism Fund?
Yes, ENC, yes.
Okay. Everybody understand the motion? Dr. Odom, how much has the city committed?
They've committed $1 million so far, excuse me, and they're entertaining going up to $4 million.
You can put this on record, we expect them at least go to 2, right?
Okay. I'll pass that along.
Who seconded that a minute ago?
Second, who was the second?
Oh, Mr. Andrews?
Mr. Andrews. Any more discussion?
Yeah, I got one more. Go ahead, Grover.
Yep.
He had his hand up.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Bennett, hit your button if you don't care.
This is for Mayor Porter. Do you feel comfortable at $200,000 a year for 10 years, or are we going to be better off spreading it out over 15 or 20? Because their loans will be, I'm sure, 20-year loans.
Well, if they're going to do the bonds for 20 years, it'd be easier on us to do the smaller amount for a longer period, but that'd be up to commission.
Well, I'm not familiar with that revenue in their stream. Are we constantly having 100, 200,000 extra in that fund?
You will, unless you do some economic development project in the future, that right now, those are extra funds that are coming into the fund.
Pretty regularly.
Yeah, so, I mean, it'd be nice to spread it over a little longer, but, I mean, I think we can make it work as long as our tourism stays up and the hotel motel tax keeps coming in like it is. I mean, if you did 15 years.
We can work with it, yeah.
Maybe
Can I
drop it
amend my
down
motion to change it to divide the 200,000 over the 15 years? So what is that?
150.
The 2 million, yeah, the 2 million over 15 years.
You substitute your motion?
I'm going to defer to.
I'll wait my turn, but.
Okay. Scratch the audio.
Yes, scratch.
Yes. Commissioner Wilson?
I'd like to make an amendment to change that from 10 to 20, to keep that, as Mayor Porter said, keep that number as low as possible, because we don't want to overextend taxpayer dollars. You know, my biggest concern is I got constituents in the area that don't want to do this. Okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. And one of the reasons is the fact that the public doesn't have the ability to use the hoop to walk around in the bad weather. I'm just being honest with you. You're coming to us asking for this. I'm telling you what the public's saying. They don't like the fact that they can't use that facility any longer. And I think that needs to be addressed by tech to open that up to the public if we're going to pony out this money over the next 20 years. And that's my thoughts.
Okay.
Do you have a second?
So I have an amendment to move it to 20 years. And what followed that is is it just a comment, or is that?
No, that last part was a comment, yeah, but followed up 20 years, spread it out over for 10, spread it to 20, and using the hotel motel tax out of the economic.
Okay. Everybody understand the amendment?
Who was the second?
I don't have one yet.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Anybody want to second that amendment?
Second.
Commissioner Nadio is the second. Any discussion on the amendment? So, okay. Commissioner Williams, I'll go to you.
This is on the amendment, and I'll just tell you what the amendment I was going to make, and we'll just see if you like this year's better or mine. I was just going to say, let's amend it for up to 20 years and pay up to $200,000 a year. That gives us more flexibility, so if we have a good year, we can pay extra, get it paid off early. We're not obligated over a fixed period of time, but we have up to 20 years to pay for it.
Just looking for budgetary line item numbers to stay uniform. That was the only reason I brought that up.
So, my question, Commissioner Williams, is who makes that decision of what we pay each year? Would that be the commission?
It would have to go through the budget committee. I would imagine it'd go through the budget committee each year, and if we can afford to pay more one year, then we do it. And if we have to make a minimum payment that we've obligated ourselves to, then we do that.
So a minimum of 100.
Minimum of 100, but if we have a great year, we might pay $500,000 one year, or so on and so forth.
Mayor Porter?
But he's checking with Dr. Odom, they have to have a guaranteed revenue stream, so as long as it's a minimum of 100, if you wanted to pay more on it, they'd be okay, but they need that guaranteed minimum of that 100 is going to happen every year.
Okay. Is that a form of second amendment to the motion? We can only do two.
I don't want to muddy the waters, Andy. I mean, his amendment would be just be $100,000 a year over 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in disagreement that we could pay more if we have a bigger, year to pay it off sooner and be done with it. I'm not in disagreement. Would we have the flexibility to do so, whether we had that in an amendment or not? I mean, if we voted,
If you were to say that you're
we
going to
say
pay,
2 million over 20 years and however we divvy it out, minimum 100 grand, or it's,
if you say a minimum of $100,000 over 20 years, then it gives you the flexibility to do more in a year if you had the extra money and you wanted.
I have no problem combining that, that's good.
Yeah, we'll just go with yours. If that leaves us the flexibility already, then that's fine.
So we're going with him?
Yeah, go with yours, that's fine. All right. So just say minimum of.
Cratch Williams.
Do we word it to max at 2 million? Word it to max at 2 million?
We're going with the original motion by Mr. Wilson, Commissioner Wilson.
Okay.
And if we can pay more, the Budget Committee can decide to do that.
Gotcha. All right.
That's the way I understand. Is that good? Okay.
All right.
Commissioner Chaffin.
Just one question for Randy. Is there a certain percentage of hotel motel that has to go towards
Tourism.
economic development?
Yeah, it has to go towards tourism some of the old private acts that we did, I think one of them had 60% of it had to go towards tourism, so yeah, we're locked into so much of it had to go towards
So
tourism.
where are we at on our percentage, do you know?
Probably really close to that. We try to make sure that we stay within that percentage. I mean, hotel motel tax goes into economic development, it goes into parks and recreation, it goes into debt service, it's just divided into multiple funds, where most of our payouts on going back to tourism comes out of the economic development fund.
Okay. Commissioner Facinto?
Ben, I think you can take this question. It's just a quick procedural question, and no offense to the couple of commissioners that are employed at Tech. Is there a conflict of interest in the voting on that at all when it comes in?
Unless Dr. Odom's going to cut them a check for some kind of service they're providing on building the stadium, no.
Okay, well,
Good
then
question.
I want in if you're
did ask about that.
you know.
That's a good question, but unless that,
We already asked about that.
yeah, great question, but that's the only way that they benefit financially.
Give him
I just wanted some
first year or
clarification on
something.
that. Thank you.
Good question. Okay. Commissioner Andrews?
I was just going to say, I think it's just my opinion, but I think we should do it for a definite amount, a definite period of time, for a definite amount of money per year, whatever, for their budget process, for our budget process. I support it, obviously, but I think we need to do it for a set amount of time, just for budget, keeping up with the budget, knowing what to expect.
So right now, the motion's 20 years, $100,000 a year, and the only way that changes is if the Budget Committee and Commission approve it.
Exactly.
To change it. So if that comes up, we can talk about it at the commission meeting, but right now, we're structured at $100,000 over 20 years. Is that good with you?
That's good.
It has to, if it changes, it has to.
I just think it needs to be a set amount of time.
Sure.
And a set amount of money.
Yes.
So they know what to expect, we know what.
They know they're going to get $100,000 over 20 years at least. Yep. Commissioner Tace?
So I just have a comment.
Yes.
$2 million would go a long ways for our Putnam County school system.
I didn't hear what you said.
We should need to think about our local school. I mean, that money would be optional for them also.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Riddle?
Yes, I was just curious if we should wait till like after budget, or we've got a meeting with the school board.
I don't want to speak for Dr. Odom, but you kind of need to know based on the bond issue.
Yes, we do. We need to move the project along and keep it on schedule. We need to know something pretty soon.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard for us to spend money when we're sitting here. Last year, we just turned down a school for $36 million that we're not going to be able to build for at least $50 million when we get ready to build it. I mean, I just think we should look at that first. You know, I've got 3 kids that two's graduated Tech. You know, I like love tech, but we gotta look at our own stuff first, you know. In my opinion.
Thank you. Commissioner Bradford?
Okay, as you all know, we have voted no to put the middle school onto the elementary school. We voted no to build a desperately needed bus garage. I love Tennessee Tech. It's a great thing for this community, but we just had the largest tax increase we've had in a long time. So now we're going to tell the public that we have extra cash that we can spend somewhere else? I do not know what happens if 20 years from now we can't pay this $100,000. Do we then put in a tax increase so the public can pay it? I mean, it's something to think about. I voted no to build a school. I voted no to build a bus garage. Where I came from, that I know for a fact is desperately needed. I just voted in one of the largest tax increases on the people in this county. And we're getting ready to talk about how to save money for the seniors in this county, which in return is going to take money out of our budget that we're going to have to cover. So I just want y'all to think about that for a minute, because this body has done a lot of no saying lately. I know $100,000 is not much in a year's time. I know that. Hotel, motel. In 20 years from now, we don't know where the hotel, motel's going to be in this location. We don't know what the economy or the future holds. So I'd like for y'all to think about that when you cast your vote.
Thank you. Commissioner Andrews?
I voted no on a lot of those same things, Kim, but I just want to say, I just call for a vote.
Okay. I appreciate that. Commissioner Gentry hasn't had a chance to speak, so I'm going to, Commissioner Bennett, I'll go to you next, and then Commissioner Gentry, we're going to call for a vote.
Well, it seems like everybody else threw their 2 cents in, so I might as well too. Tennessee Tech is our school, and it seems like a small contribution that they're asking for. And I think if there's any way we could help them, we should. And she's worried about the hotel motel tax. I mean, you can't base on what happens or what's going to happen or whatever, you know, if things just move on, life goes on. But anyway, I just wanted to say that, and it looks like it'd be a fantastic facility. And any kind of improvements they make would be good to this community. And sometimes we have to spend money to make money. I mean, that's just the way it is. But that's all I had to say, and thank you.
Commissioner Bennett?
Question for Mayor Porter. The hotel motel tax that we get, do we consider that restricted funds? You know, you move it around to take care of shortfalls in the rest of the budget, do we?
We don't normally, but
So this is pretty much dedicated for economic development.
economic development, tourism, debt service, I mean, you could move it around, but
we don't typically
normally.
use it for
We
this,
don't
to invest
normally.
in the community to raise more revenue.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Eldridge?
What kind of time limit are you needing an answer on? Because this just seems to me like something that should be put through the entire budget committee. That way it could be a all-encompassing thing if it was included.
So we have designers working on the design right now, and the scope of the project is heavily dependent on all the contributions, so we know what dollars we have to put into the project. So we're obligated to go out on bid this summer in order to meet that timeline. You know, we have, maybe 4 weeks.
Okay. Commissioner Randolph?
I just have one comment to make, and I realize that you say we have a couple of extra $100,000 in hotel motel, and that can be put into debt service, and I hope you realize that that's over 10 cents, 10 pennies, and lots of times we've had to raise the taxes 10, 12, 15 cents to fund our schools. Now that's 10 pennies that we can put in to debt service every year without raising taxes. I just want to let you know that.
Help me a second, Commissioner Randolph. You're talking about 100,000 being 10 cents?
2 million.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's not that much, I'm sorry, I was wrong, but,
I will-
a penny's 220.
226, yeah.
226,
Yeah,
so it's
one
not
penny.
that many, but it's fine.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Clerk,
Yes, sir.
please call the roll.
All right, we're going to be voting on strictly the amendment only, and the amendment is $100,000 per year for the next 20 years, capping at $2 million. Voting on that, if you take your handsets, if you favor the motion, favor the amendment, vote yes. If you do not favor that, vote no. Stop right there. All votes are now in. Stop. Do anybody wish to change your vote anywhere? All right, please press confirm for me, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, please press confirm. Mr. Chairman, on the amendment, you have 19 yes, 5 no, 0 absent. The amendment passes. Now, do we go back to?
We're back to the original motion as amended.
Okay. So,
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Clerk. Oh, you want? Yes, sir.
2 questions, and I want to get a little bit more firm of an answer. You said about 4 weeks. You also said this summer. So when are we talking about? Because we'll wrap up our budget process sometime this summer.
Well, so the bids for the project would go out in the summer, but all those construction documents have to be prepared well in advance of that. So in order to keep the designers on schedule, we need probably about 4 weeks. I hope that helps.
4 weeks. And
yeah, otherwise it pushes that bid date back further because they need that much time to finalize the design and get the bid documents prepared.
Okay. Sorry to try to nail you down a little bit more on that. It just makes me nervous obligating to this without going through the budget process.
I understand.
The other thing is we do have, Upperman High School is in desperate need of expansion of their facility as well. Would you make available any materials or seats or anything like that could be removed from there? And if Upperman can use it, they can have it?
Oh, out of the current facility? I doubt they could make use of it, but if they could, absolutely.
I don't know about
absolutely
seating or anything like that.
As I said, we make Tucker Stadium available to Upperman and Cookeville and Monterey as they need it. Monterey used it pretty extensively during their stadium build out there, so, yeah.
Thank you. Commissioner Wilson?
The economic study that you did to bring sales tax revenues here and hotel motel tax numbers coming in here. It's obvious we're not going to be able to do anything with the Blue Cross Bowl until at least 2026 if we get the bid. Is that an accurate statement?
I'm not sure. Mark, you may know. I'm not sure when their contract in Chattanooga is up.
So there's been many conversations with TWSA, with their staff, and with members of the Board of Control. We have asked them, they did the first 2 years at Chattanooga, which have been completed. We have asked them to continue to find a home until we complete the renovations of Tucker Stadium, because that's why they left. I had a conversation last week with 2 of their staff members. 12 years, and I look around the room, there are many people that volunteered during that time. Over 12 years, it was tiring for the community. So one of the things that they are considering at the present time is maybe doing a partnership with 2 communities. So there would be like 2 years in Putnam County at Tennessee Tech, 2 years at someplace else. So it can keep the community and the volunteers fresh that made it so hospitable for them. But yes, they desire to come here. That's why we've also kept the relationship with TWSAA. Next weekend, we're hosting the Division II men's and women's basketball championships in the Hooper Evelyn Center, because that's an economic driver for the county and the city as well.
So the last time we had it here, what was that number? Was it 2.6 million or 2.7 million economic impact the last time we had the Blue Cross Bowl here? Do you remember those numbers?
Yeah, it was nearly $3 million last time we did that study, correct.
Okay. All right, and I'm going to go back to my question to you, Dr. Odom, about the public's use of the Hooper Evelyn Center to walk in inclement weather. Are you going to think about that and consider that option?
Yeah, well, absolutely, we'll continue to think about it. There's some serious liability issues related to that, since it's a facility not really designed for walking. So, I mean, there are some issues, but yes, we will absolutely take a fresh look at it and see what we can do.
Thank you.
Anything else? We're back to the motion as amended. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, motion is as amended. If you favor the motion, vote yes. If you're not in favor of the motion, vote no. Everyone, please vote, and stop right there for me, please. Wait. Don't confirm yet. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere? Now hit confirm for me, ladies and gentlemen. Motion as amended, Mr. Chairman, 18 votes yes, 6 no, 0 absent. I declare that motion to have passed.
Let me just thank the commission for your consideration, and I know these are hard decisions, but again, I want to return to thanking you for all you do to make Putnam County a great place to be. So thank you, and as always, if there's anything we can do for any of you and your constituents, please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Odom. I would hate to see Putnam County without Tennessee Tech. That's what I've just got to say a statement for.
Madam Chairman?
Yes. Is there any other business that needs to be reviewed by the Fiscal Review Committee?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Nominating Committee?
Nominating Committee recommends a nomination, nominating committee appointments to the Awards Committee for 2 years, terms to expire February 2026. Current members, terms expiring Kim Bradford and Danny Holmes, and I so move.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion
That concludes nominating.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Report of special committees, resolutions.
No resolutions, Mr.
Election notaries.
Here we go. Got quite a few tonight. Jenny Alcorn, Lisa L. Bowden, Sheila Bumalo, Carla Nicole Burrow, Julie D. Burton, Cassie Elaine Conley, Sarah Dangwood, Ashley Gonzalez, Angela F. Harris, Kimberly Hayworth, Lisa J. Hilton, Amanda Hudson, Lori L. Keene, Bobby Joe Knight, Guthrie Latanzi, Tyler Oakes, John W. Paul, Stephanie Porter, Samantha Poston, Emily Robertson, Trina D. Stevens, Catherine Sullivan, Trudy Elaine Swicker, Mona Ruth Tiller, Joel David Wallace, Shannon Whitson, and last, Sydney Wilson.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Yep. Pass Sam's remote, please. Thank you.
Do what?
Sam walked out.
Sam? Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
I'll cut his revenue out. Okay. I'll just do abstain. All right. Take your handsets if you favor the motion, and these are notaries already been confirmed by my office. Just please press yes, and we'll stop right there, okay? Go ahead and press confirm for me, if you would, ladies and gentlemen, please. Good deal. Mr. Chairman, I have 23 voting yes, and I had to vote Mr. Sandlin as abstain. Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Other new business. Recognize the official county road list and road inventory as presented by Road Supervisor Randy Jones. It was in your packet. Can I get a motion, a second?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion on the road list? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Number 2, ratification of County Mayor Randy Porter's selection of the Budget Committee for the 2024-2025 budget year. The list is Adam Johnson, Grover Bennett, David Andrews, Jonathan Williams, Kathy Dunn, Ron Chaffin, Del Moss, David Gentry, and myself.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Who made the motion?
Commissioner Donadio. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Number 3, approve the budget calendar for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. That was in your packet. You want any comments on that? No?
Required by the state for us to pass it. As it stands right now, we'll have our first organizational meeting of the Budget Committee April 15th, following the County Commission meeting in April.
April 15th, first Budget Committee meeting. All right, I need a motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion, second. Any discussion? Bless you. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Number 4, hear update from Mayor Randy Porter on revenues.
I'll be brief, Mr. Chairman. I know you got the work session afterwards. It's been a long meeting already. I put a file on your iPads there that shows the revenue. This is cash in the trustee's office. I usually present it to you each year about this time. It's from July through January, so 7 months of revenue. You can take a look at it. Everything's coming along as predicted. The only thing that's doing really good is our interest coming in on our fund balances. Trustee Freddie Nelson, we keep all of those invested in the state or in the bonds, and it's just been phenomenal. It looks like we're going to bring in about $3 million more in interest this year than what we were budgeting to do that. If that's the case and everything works out good, instead of hitting fund balance for $6.5 million, you may only hit it for about 2 or 3, so it could turn out to be a good thing. The only thing about that interest is, if the Federal Reserve starts cutting interest rates, so does our interest. So there's no guarantee that that's going to continue, so we'll just have to see how that goes. As you look at that over 7 months, it should be about 58% on most of the items. But realize some of these revenue line items, some of them come in monthly, some of them come in semi-monthly, some of them come in quarterly, and some of them is only a one-time-a-year payment. Most of them, as you look down across the revenue, is looking good. We've collected about $30.4 million, which is about 59% of our projected revenue for the year already in 7 months, which is about where we should be. A big chunk of property tax comes in February, so that number will go up pretty dramatic. All the other funds, as you look across them, are right on projection. So we seem to be doing well on our revenues so far for the first 7 months. If you have any questions, contact me at the office. You can always email, text me, call me, or whatever. If you've got any questions on any of it, I'd be glad to answer them.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Any announcements or statements? All right, I'd like to have a motion adjourned. Before we do, we have a work session right now in here. Immediately as we start, I'm the chair of the Property Tax Freeze Committee. We have Mayor Porter, Chelsea, Kathy Real, Kathy Dunn, Vinny Vicinto, Freddie Nelson, Steve Pierce. Did I miss anybody? That's on the committee. And so we'll have a work session. We have some folks from the state. Did I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.